Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here. Welcome back to the railway and welcome back to Sam's Trains Live. Now, this is quite a special episode because not only is it the first of a new series, and I'm going to be back every Friday night at 5 PM, which is very exciting because we don't have to wait for the next episodes, but this also marks 5 years of Sam's Trains Live because in November 2017, that was my first ever live stream. And yeah, it's been 5 years since then. So celebrating 5 years of Sam's Trains Live, thank you so much for coming along to celebrate this with me. And I hope you're okay because we're at the start of an exciting new series. I hope you're ready for it. There's going to be a lot going on here. I've got some reviews to do. I'm going to be doing some unboxings. I've got lots of trains to run. I've got new models that I've made to show you. Today, I'm going to be doing a bit of an investigation, which, as you've seen from the title, should be quite interesting. And of course, I'm going to be taking lots of your requests. So stay tuned for those. I hope you enjoy them. Let's have a look at the chat though, because it's been quite some time since the last live stream and there are quite a few of you here, so welcome to everybody. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the stream. So if anyone wants to shout out before we get cracking, then please do jump in the chat. In fact, as well as the investigation today, I've also got a brand new model to show you, which I literally designed yesterday and it finished being made about 20 minutes before this stream started, so it's kind of hot off the press, so I'll show you that later on. Sam Haslam, congratulations on 5 years. Thank you very much. It's crazy that we've been doing this for 5 years. Things are a little different. If you look at the first stream, yeah, it doesn't quite look like they do now, but I guess fundamentally it is pretty much the same thing. Thank you, NG5. Did you send me a message? Yeah. They put, things are cooling down out here in San Diego, California. Funny that Christmas is still a month away and we're already seeing Christmas decorations. That's true. Yeah, I've seen a fair few Christmas decorations. I think that's pretty good. Alex Dent, we're back. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it? It sure has. Yeah, it seems, I think it was only September that I did my last one, but it does seem like ages, yeah. Jordan Backup 1101, there's your shout out, thank you for coming. Nazy Toys, hello to you too. Eggy Eat, yes, you can have a shout out in capital letters. Yeah, you can. Thank you for your support. Peter Floors, what was that? That's the little pop-up, so when someone sends in a super chat, it comes up on the bottom left. And speaking of super chat, I am taking requests during this series of Sam's Trains Live, so if you like the channel and you feel like you want to support it, you can use the super chat, which is the little $ in the chat, and you can pledge small amounts of money just to help the channel out, to keep it going. If you donate £5 or the equivalent, you can pick any locomotive from the collection, any rolling stock to go with it, and I'll run it during a live stream for your 5 minutes of fame. And all of that money, of course, goes back into the channel. It goes back into funding new videos and new projects so that I can, you know, keep this channel alive. So thank you so much to everyone who's done that. I really appreciate it. And to anyone who's considering it, thank you very much. And equally, if you just want to sit and watch the streams and enjoy them without donating anything, that is absolutely fine as well. All I could ever ask is that you're here to watch. So if you are, thank you. And also, if you've got a birthday around now, you can donate any amount. Let me know it's your birthday and I'll play that horrifying birthday song for you. And nobody will be pleased about it except for you because you caused it. Right, so let's get going. Oh, also, I've got a Gresley's rocket to give away. How could I almost forget? Here it is. Who's on it? We've got, I think that's the Naughty Schoolboy. So yeah, I'm going to be giving this away at the end of today's stream. These sold really well, actually. I'm surprised because obviously they were quite pricey. And they're obviously not the most realistic model in the world. But yeah, there's less than 20 of them left. But I decided I was going to give one today for free. So all you got to do, thank you, Dorleon. He says, it's been a long time, but nice to see you back. How's it going lately? I'm going great, thank you. I hope you are as well. So, since today's episode is about the Hornby 9F, or it's about to be, I'm looking for freight-based requests today. So I'll give Gresley's Rocket to the best freight request of the day. So there you go, that's your challenge. Right, speaking of requests, I've got some engineers' requests to show. Those are my chief mechanical engineers, the top tier of my YouTube membership, which means that they get a request for free for every series. So the first one is from Robert Osborne, who wanted to see the Flying Scotsman pushing or pitching my auto coaches with the Bachmann one at the front. So there you go. Samuel's Locos, to celebrate his channel passing 50 subscribers, wants to see a Freightliner Class 66 on a gravel train. So I've got that set up on the middle line. Massive congratulations to Samuel's Locos. Go over and check out his channel and subscribe, and let's see if we can get him to 100. And then Dancing Turtle 96 wanted to see the Bachmann Henry with 5 Blood and Custard coaches and the Bachmann Edward banking. Sadly, my Bachmann Edward has bit the dust. Last time I tried to run him, he just seized up. He was running really slowly. The old smoke issue, yeah, he's had it. So it's going to need a new motor before I can run that. So I've got the Hornby Edward on the back, which is a worthy substitute, I think. The 66, off that goes, and let's see how this double header goes. When I tried it earlier, the two engines ran at roughly the same speed, so hopefully that means they won't derail. But those are famous last words after all. But we'll see. Kelly Ashford, thank you very much for that. It's nice to see you back. Should give Kelly a shout out because she's been absent for a long time. We were all mortally worried about her. What's happened to Kelly? Is she still with us on Earth? It turns out yes. It was just her laptop was having overheating issues, and now they are fixed. So Kelly is back in the land of the living, to all of those who are concerned. Average British Railways Appreciator, lovely to see you back. Thank you for coming. Hi Sam, currently I'm at uni with concussion. Oh my god, I can't run my trains. No, I'm not surprised. Could you run a P2 and a Dean Goods HST style with military wagons and the River Rossi Hudson with American rolling stock? Yes, that sounds complicated, so I'm going to do that next week on a pre-recorded request just so that I can get it right. But I'm so sorry to hear about your concussion. I guess that's the kind of stuff that goes down at uni, am I right? And I hope you feel better soon. I hope it's nothing too serious. I mean, it does sound quite serious. But yeah, hopefully not too bad. William Babcock, thank you very much. Let me write this one down. You're not going to like this one, folks, or maybe you will. Yeah, it's me that won't enjoy it. It's the 1361 with egg vans. Oh gosh, plus egg vans. It's like I'm taking down an order for a Chinese restaurant or something. And a Coca-Cola. I know which cola one you mean as well. And Bullman. That's going to be a derailment express like no other, isn't it? Absolutely no doubt about that. Oh well. Well, the Thomas duo is getting on okay. Oh, we've got some sort of debris on the track. Oh yeah, we do. I don't know where that's come from. Those are the handrails, no, the cables from some tankers I was making once upon a time. Don't want those on the track. I wonder where they came from. That was over a year ago I made those. Very odd, very odd. Anyway, requests going well. Everything seems to be running nicely. I didn't tempt fate today, that's probably why. Now that I've said that, I suppose I can expect the derailments. But no, let's be positive today. Let's see if a dose of positivity will keep my trains on the track. I don't think anything will do that, but maybe a dose of positivity is the thing we need. Maybe. Right, let's bring these to a stop. Up, before they all miss the station, so to speak. Not that it's a station, it's a bit of carpet. But either way, you don't want to miss it. Alright. I'm going to pull some of these off the track while we wait for the Thomas duo, because we've got quite a bit to get through today in terms of requests. So let's start clearing. Ah, here they come. Better late than never. Thank you, folks. Thank you. Alright, let's pull these coaches off and then we will move on. We're going to have a little chat. I'll do some more shout outs, so bung those in the chat if you want them. And then we'll get to talking a little bit more about the Hornby 9F, which is a very interesting topic. But still, first things first, Eggy Eats, thank you so much. Can we have a class 47 and a class 50? Ooh, nice combo there. Pulling a mix of open/box wagons and some other freight of your choice. 1 egg van and a tiny and any brake wagon, not a tiny one. Okay. Thank you. Yes, I can do that. NG5, here's a request. The 9F with Southern Pacific 4446. That might be tricky. You might need to change your mind on that because I don't have compatible couplings between those two locos. Pulling one of every wagon up to 30 and they shove the egg van off the rails. Oh, okay. That sounds fun. I'll give that a try. I'll do that for next week, I suppose. NWR J&W Studios, yep, there's a shout out to you. Adam Williams, shout out to you from Bristol, apparently. Cool. Hope you're having a good night in Bristol. Can we boo at the scrap man, says Peter Flaws. Yes, you can. Send your boos in the chat. The cupboard's open. Boo! He didn't respond. He's not been fed for a while, so I guess he's a little sleepy. Yell out, please, says LilBro28. Shout out to LilBro28. I don't want to actually yell because I'm quite a powerful yeller, and it would really hurt people's ears, I feel. I love the 9F, says Umbrian 001. So do I. They are lovely locos, and so are the Hornby ones. Just mine didn't run very well. Jake Darling. Oh, recently lost my job, but here to show support. Oh, well, that's unnecessary, Jake. But thank you. Appreciate it. Sorry to hear about your job. But, you know, you sound like a good guy. I'm sure you'll be able to find another. You want to see a Macman 08 with 4 brake vans? That sounds interesting. What have I done with my pen? I'm awful. I've literally had to buy. I've placed an order on Amazon for 50 pens recently because I keep buying them and keep losing them. So if I've got 50 and I spread them all around the spaces that I use, I should, in theory, never ever not be able to find a pen. That's the idea. So yeah, let me know how long do you think it's going to take before I've lost 50 pens. Where do they go? I've bought loads of pens in the past, but still, I'm on to, this is like, there's this one and there's one more and that's all. And I know that I must have bought 30 odd in the last 5 years or so. So we're going up to 50. Let's see what we can find. Right, oh yeah, I saw some boos. Nice work. Max Holmes, who else was doing it? Peter did it as well. Adam Williams, Eggy Heat. Nice one. Edward looks like a D40, says Yuk Chung Chung. That's true. The Hornby Edward is a D49, in fact. NG5, I bet if BR made a 10F, it'd be a 212.0. It probably would, although you'd imagine that would struggle on our tracks, wouldn't you? And William Town, how to defeat the Scrapman, use a JDAM, Joint Direct Attack Munition. Well, that does sound quite effective, William. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, that sounds pretty good. Eggy Eat, better late than never, with a boo. We've got Chloe and George, nice to see you, have a good night. And WRJ&Ws, again, we've got quite a lot of boos. I hope you can hear these, Scrapman. I hope you can. Right, so let's get on to the task at hand then, shall we? The Hornby 9F. So, I'm going to let pre-recorded Sam tell you a little bit more. A month or two ago, I did a review on Hornby's brand new 9F. And I loved it. The quality was outstanding, the level of detail was absolutely awesome. I loved everything about that model, except for one thing, and that was the performance, because my example did not run well. When I applied an artificial load to the loco, I discovered that it had very little torque and the wheel set would slow down. And this meant that over certain tighter curves, the loco would really struggle to move itself, and in fact, with a load, this problem would be much, much worse. So I concluded that the motor was to blame. I said that I thought the motor was underpowered or faulty or both. And in fact, this was very reminiscent of the way that Hornby B12 I reviewed ran. And looking at the motors, here is the B12 motor and here is the 9F motor. The two look absolutely identical. Is that a coincidence? Because following my review, quite a few people took to social media and asked Hornby about these motor issues, and here was their standard response. We're pleased to say that the motors and mechanics fitted to the new 9F models are completely new for the models and have proved to run perfectly in the extensive testing we run, which includes inclines testing. We cannot be responsible for the quality of people's layouts. Ooh, sounds like some shots fired on the old carpet layout there, but Rather than engaging in petty, baseless comments about Hornby's model, I'm going to be a bit more scientific in my response, and I'm going to investigate properly. So, in Hornby's posts, they said that the motors and mechanics fitted to the new 9F models are completely new for the models. That should be fairly easy to verify, so I took the B12 motor and the new 9F motor, dismantled them and photographed them next to each other. Can you tell the difference between the two? If you're having trouble, that might be because the two are basically identical. So the casing is identical, measured them with calipers, identical. The armatures are also dimensionally identical. I measured these with calipers too. They're the same within 1/100th of a millimetre. The only difference in the 9F motor is that the shaft was 1 millimetre shorter, which wouldn't affect the motor in any way, and it also has some extra insulating material at one end of the commutator. The armatures also weighed exactly the same to within 1/100th of a gram, and the resistance of each coil of each motor was all within half an ohm of each other. So having compared an old motor with the so-called new motor, I have to say I don't understand what Hornby mean when they say that the 9F motor is completely new. Maybe it's a coincidence that they've redesigned the motor and come up with exactly the same motor which is 99% identical to the old one and still runs badly. I'd love to know what the probability of that was. Right, let's tackle the next part of Hornby's post where they suggested that it was the quality of layouts that were to blame. So let's put that to the test. I've purchased this new motor on eBay. It's a very beefy coreless motor and it's quite expensive at £11.94. But that's still less than 1/20th of the cost of a new Hornby 9F, so I don't think just over a tenner for a motor would be too much to ask in a model that costs over £200. So I fitted this motor in place of the original Hornby motor and it fit perfectly. I didn't even have to create a bracket for it, I just hot glued it in place and then I made a 3D printed adapter to couple the motor to the mechanism. So, if Hornby are right and the original motors ran perfectly and it was my layout to blame for the poor performance, then the new motor should bring about no improvement to the Hornby 9F. Well, it's time to put it to the test. I'm going to be using the same track, the same controller, all of the same electronics. The only thing that's changed is going to be the motor. This should be fun, shouldn't it, Hornby? Okay, question 1, does the loco still work? Yep, it does work. Is the crawl still okay? I want to make sure that this new motor isn't going to negatively affect any aspect of the performance. And I think we are crawling there, are we? Yeah. Bit more. There we go. So yeah, the crawl seems to be fine. And now the interesting part, I'm going to try putting my finger in front of the loco to see if it can still turn its wheels. So let's do exactly the same as I did before, turn it up to 50%. Oh, look at that. Wow, looks a little different, doesn't it, Hornby? So now let's try it again and see if we can observe any slowing down. Here we go. Here we go. Well, it's not slowing down to a crawl, that's for sure. Right, let's try it with a load. Here we go, got a load of wagons on it now. Oh, look at that. Wait till you see how many it's hauling. It's a powerhouse. It is completely transformed. Quite a few wagons here, folks. Quite a few. Let's compare this to some footage I shot with the old motor. Ooh. Ooh, yeah, wow. Absolutely no comparison. The differences are clear. Now, the original loco I also tested on a feedback controller and this was much better. The torque issues disappeared, however the motor was drawing an obscene amount of current. That said, if Hornby did their testing on a Hornby feedback controller, as we've seen them do in Hornby and Model World, the TV series, that could explain why the models ran perfectly, in inverted commas, for them. Also, my original motor could have been faulty, that's also possible, but ultimately, my review was bang on the money. The motor was to blame for my Hornby 9F performing badly, not the quality of my layout, by the way, and I was right to say that the 9F motor looked the same as the old Hornby motors, such as the ones that were in the S15 or the B12, because they are. They're 99% identical. Those motors are known to cause problems in other locos. The B12 and the S15 are good examples, so it's an interesting decision to use that same motor in the 9F. Now, to Hornby, I get it. It's not nice when someone bashes your product, but if you choose to defend said product, it's best to be accurate in what you say, just on the off chance that someone can come along and demonstrate it to be false. Because when you said that these motors are completely new, that suggested that you were using a new design, which based on my comparison seems to be untrue. Even better still, just use quality motors and components in the first place, and then all reviewers will be positive about your products, not just the ones that are in your pocket. If you're having trouble with your Hornby 9F not hauling properly or not performing as it should, I've included a link in the description so that you can try one of these new motors. You will just need to 3D print a motor mount, and I will include links to that as well. So there you go, shots fired back at Hornby, and hopefully you'll agree I did it quite a bit more effectively than they did. Ooh, some shots fired right there, but either way, it's a happy ending because now my 9F is back in working order. It's powerful, it's strong, it's everything a 9F should be. And I want to say to Jim Flag, thank you so much for that very generous super chat. If you want to send me an email with a request, I'll run whatever you like. Also, Jake Darling, don't suppose you have a link to the motor you brought? Yes, check the description. I already posted it before the stream. So it's labelled cordless motor. You should be able to find it. There's also an adapter so that you can fit it into your 9F or in fact other Hornby locos. So what are we thinking, folks? What are your thoughts on that? I think the results there are pretty conclusive, aren't they, really? Just how big is your layout, Sam? H draw? I'm not entirely sure. I think it's sort of 5 meters by, no, maybe 6 meters by 4 meters, I would say. It's a very rough estimate. I'm not sure I actually measured it before, but there you go. Hornby be hella salty, says William Town. Yeah, I would say their social media post did seem a little salty when they were talking about the quality of people's layouts. And as Union of South Africa Superfan says, yeah, it's an interesting comment given the quality of some of their models. But I suppose, to be fair, I have called them out on that, so it's only fair that they should do the same. But then again, it's my job to create reviews on locomotives. Not really Hornby's job to tell people what their layouts are like, but you know, whatever. Can you run your custom locomotives, as Ashton Walsh? Yeah, sure, I can do those in super chat requests, no problem. NWR J&W Studios, for today's challenge, could you run the Hornby 8F with a long goods train? Cheers, Jasper and Willow. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for your support. Hornby are emitting big copium, eh? I must be too ignorant to understand that. Thank you very much, Paul. He says this live stream is amazing. Well, thank you. Oliver's Train says, Sam, can you say hello to pre-recorded Sam? Unfortunately, he's gone, but next time he's here, I will give him that message. Thank you very much. Maybe I'll see it next stream, says Kelly. She says, oh well, if my request isn't shown in this stream, maybe I'll see it next stream. Maybe you will, Kelly. Or just maybe you'll see it right now, because here it is. Look, we've got it on the middle line. Let's introduce Kelly's first. Kelly Ashford, Torquay and Broome Manor. And I have to say, I'm going to announce this right here on the stream. Kelly Ashford has received a new manor from Dapol. It is a Hinton Manor, and apparently she's very happy. She's partly happy that she's back on YouTube and the internet and stuff because her laptop's fixed. She's even more happy that she's got Hinton Manor, apparently. So, in honour of that, I've got my Torquay and my Broome Manor, Dapol and Bachman Manor, for the first time ever, I think, coupled up together for a run with some maroon Mark 1s. So we'll see how that goes. William Soutar, 1638, fittingly enough, wanted to see the new Hornby 9F with some freights. So I've got that on the outside line. This is her chance to prove that it's not CGI, she really is running better now, and she's going to do it right here on the stream live for you. And then what I'm a bit less confident about, that is Sparky129, who wanted to see the Garrett double heading with Mallard with a mixture of Pullman and Blood and Custard coaches. I have a bad feeling about that. They are on the inside line, which is the most reliable line because it has fewer curves and points and stuff, but still. Not sure how that's going to go. And also I'm not sure how the manners are going to go. So we'll just have to try. We'll just have to see. So let's start with the manners. Well, okay, seem okay so far. These two, oh, I'm going to keep that one steady. I've got a bad feeling about that one. And then the 9F. Let's go for 50 speed. 50 speed was really quite slow originally with the old motor, but now it's borderline too fast. It just goes to show how much more lively it is now. The manners don't seem to be having a great time, if anything, but we'll catch up with those. Hopefully they'll get going. David Mattox, thank you very, very much. You'd like to see a train of ocean wagons. It's been a while since we've had that. Hauled by the J50 and the T. Brown Distilleries Loco and the Bachman Percy. Yes, of course, David. Thank you very much for your support. So that's a good freight request, in fact. It might get you the Grizzlies rocket. Who knows? I'll be deciding that at the end of today's stream. David F., thank you so, so much. Again, please don't feel you have to donate without sending a request. I'll be glad to do it in exchange for your money. So David F., thank you so, so much. Drop me an email. Choose a loco and some rolling stock you'd like to see, and I'll do it for you. Yes, I'm not one for just snatching cash and not giving you anything in return. I mean, I will if you really insist, but I'd rather give you something back. But thank you very much. I got jump scared by you, Sam. NWRJNW, when was that? There are quite a few arguable jump scares in my videos, aren't there? From time to time. XRCon42, thank you very much. Oh, I like this. Could you run Lion and Rocket HST style with all Era 1 rolling stock? Now, why did I never think of doing that? Wow, that is cool, XRCon42. That is very cool. In fact, if the request criteria was pre-grouping, then I think I would be picking you for the prize there, because that's awesome. That's very cool. Here's mine, says Kelly. Oh, right. I take it Kelly's running her manor at the same time. Let's get a shot of the manners for Kelly then. Here they go. They seem to have sped up a little bit. Mark7188, hi Sam, great to see the live streams back. Will you be buying the Hornby TT120 train set? And the answer to that is yes. I've already made significant progress towards building a TT layout. I will be trying most of the Hornby TT products, in the same way I try most of the 00 products. Not all, but most. So at the very least I should be able to give you a good idea of what the range is like. And personally, I'm quite excited about it. I'm not convinced that it's necessarily going to take on and, you know, transform the hobby. I'll be very surprised if it's a big success, but I hope it is. It makes more sense from a realism point of view, and the way Hornby is doing it, I'm not a big fan of Hornby, folks, but you've got to admit that they are doing the thing properly as far as TT goes. And so I am quite excited about it. I will be interested to see what the range is like. I will obviously, as usual, be paying very close attention to the quality and the level of detail and everything, but yeah, it does look like they're really going about this in the right way. The quality of some of the prototypes they've showed seems to be high. The 08 shunter looks astounding. Yeah, there's a lot to be excited about. Also, apparently, what I said the other day in the news video was incorrect about traction tyres. Now I said that because in the sample photos that were, I think, on Hornby Magazine's website, could be wrong, yeah, I think it was Key Model World, there was clearly traction tyres on the Pacific Loco, and that's why I said what I said. That's why I said I think there are going to be traction tyres. Apparently that is not the case. Apparently they were just testing that out on the samples, and on the final release there will not be traction tyres on the TT range, which is good. That is very good news. You know, I mean, take it with a pinch of salt, because, you know, we've thought something about a Hornby product before, and then it's arrived and something else has been the case. That has happened a few times. So I'm not going to be, you know, assuring you that models won't have traction tyres on them until I've got one in my hand and it doesn't. But, you know, assuming Hornby are correct in what they said on their stream the other day, then yes, no traction tyres on Hornby TT. And that's cool, that's good. I mean, look, if they needed traction tyres because they are so much smaller than 00 and lighter and such, and they would be absolutely naff without it, then that would have been okay, I suppose, because there's less opportunity to add weight in the smaller scales like TT and N. because of course you've still got to fit speakers and DCC decoders and motors and gears into these locos, even though they're so much smaller. So yeah, they are going to be lighter, aren't they? But if it turns out Hornby's managed to make them decent haulers without traction tyres, then that obviously is even better. So exciting times. And the sample images, by the way, clearly show no traction tyres on the likes of the 08, for instance. So that, we can assume, is not going to have them. So that's really good. Right. Now, I received a bit of an unusual request the other day. And it was from Tagart00. And he said, go to the shops and buy rice pudding. Now, rice pudding has become synonymous with this channel for some reason. But, you know, he's an engineer, it's a request, so I went and did it. Sainsbury's finest rice pudding. Now, a few problems with this. It doesn't have a pull tab, so thanks for that, Sainsbury's. Can't get the rice pudding out of it. But the last time I did consume rice pudding on this channel, apparently it was very disgusting. You know who you are, who said that. So, to save you all, I'm not going to consume the rice pudding right now on the stream. Maybe that's disappointing, I don't know. But Robert, I bought some. I will consume it, don't worry. I will enjoy it. I don't think I'll use any locomotives to haul the skin off it because, frankly, I quite like to eat the skin. And that's the only reason I won't be doing that. Anyway, folks, I'm going to be right back in just a second. I'm going to set up some more requests. I'm going to go for a short break and then we'll be back for much more. In fact, got a brand new model to reveal, so that should be exciting. Go grab some refreshments. I'll see you in a jiffy. Oh, jiffy. What a word. Welcome back to Sam's Trains Live, folks. I have now become invisible, which is a skill that I've learned to do. And if I've perfected the trick correctly, I should be able to magically reappear after the screen goes black for a short time. Are you ready for that? Ah! That was absolutely marvellous. Not a technical glitch. No, not a technical glitch. An intentional magic trick designed to wow you all. There we go, I'm back. How's it going, folks? I am back ready for more. Okay, Kelly Ashford has got more of an explanation for us. The reason why I'm so emotionally happy, Foxcote Manor is my one true love and I wish I could marry her. Kelly, that's a bit concerning. We all love trains, but to marry one would be very difficult. There are issues with that, mainly sort of practical issues, yes. But still, you know, to each their own. I'm not going to poo-poo it. If that's what you want to do, good luck. But I'm not sure if it's legal. It might be. Find out. Vector Brony, still hoping one of the model companies makes a T3. Yes, I've been looking at photos of those. I agree. That would be really cool to see. You never know. You never know. Oh, we got some impressed people at my magic trick, folks. How, says MMEWT. I know, on a live stream as well. It's just a gift I've got. Kai Bench, nice magic. Cheers. A lot of people impressed. I think it's one of the more impressive things I've ever done, in fact. Not just on the channel, just in general. Yeah. Mine 3D crafts as I hope that the Hornby TT range is good quality because I'm modelling TT gauge over here in Germany and I'm excited for these models to see them run. That's awesome. And that of course is another advantage to TT and it's something that is a problem here. I mean, if I want to run an American loco with a British steam loco, can't do it because they don't have the same couplings. TT is universal, so if you buy an American TT loco, it's going to have the same couplings as a Hornby one. It's all standardised, so that's another good aspect of it. Adam Rushton, when are you going to do another train simulator video? That's a good question. I haven't done one of those for a long time. I'm looking for ideas. Please, people, if you know of good routes that I should try and that are fun and challenging, email me and let me know. I will definitely do that again. This is why I was not worried, I guess, about Kelly. She's a big girl and can obviously take care of herself. Well, I don't know, David. We might have to intervene if she tries to marry a steam loco. I don't know. A manor class too. That's a big load. Let's move on swiftly. I apologise. NG5. If Kelly can marry a manor, we're not moving on, folks. I'd befriend Union Pacific 844. She'd be the best big sister. All right. Well, that's if it's more of a sort of family sort of relationship, then that's fair enough. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. Galahad, your favourite Minecraft train YouTuber is here. Well, apparently so. Well, welcome, welcome to you. Right, new model. I literally sat down yesterday afternoon and decided to start designing a new model. And let me show you what I picked, because you won't believe it. So I got this book with wagon drawings in it, and this is one of them. Now, I don't know if you can quite make out what's going on here, but it's a tanker wagon. Thank you very much. Sam, you could create a manor story one day. I'll think about it. Thanks, Kelly. Yeah, so it's a tanker wagon, but it's got dual tankers on it. So I'm showing you this because this is a real drawing. It's not something I've made up, and now it sounds all sarcastic and that I have made it up, but honestly I haven't. And there are a few photos of this existing on online in real life. So if you want to see it, you can. Let me show you up close because it's a remarkable thing. Look at it. Does such a thing still exist? Has anybody seen such a thing? But anyway, ever since I saw this in my book, I just wanted to create one. And remarkably quickly I have done. I designed it yesterday afternoon. Today I spent some time modifying the chassis to take it. And finally the model is ready. So let me show it to you. And it's literally probably one of my favourite ever models. I honestly, maybe with the exception of some of the locos I've done, I really do think this is one of my favourites. So here you go, and you really have to look at it up close to get some of the detail on it. But there we go, let me focus in. Just look at this thing. So it's all printed in place, so these like bars across the supports, all that's printed in place. The only separately fitted part on the body is this cabling here, which is a separate piece. Everything else is all just 3D printed in place. There you go, you got some of that weird stuff going on the end. The cables even poke through the end of these wooden bars as they do in real life. Oh, I don't know if they'd be wooden, I'm not sure. But yeah, so you got that. This is just such a fun product, man. It's just project. Yeah, I just really enjoyed putting this thing together. You got the taps and stuff, the filler caps on the top, all 3D printed in place. Taps themselves, you got some down here as well, here and here, and realistic underframe and everything. Yeah, it's one of those models that is just inspirational, isn't it? Because of the way it looks. When I saw this drawing in the book, I was just completely inspired by it. And I'm so glad that I was able to sort of do it and make it work and get all the detail in there. So yeah, there you go. If you want to get one of these, join the Sam'sTrains membership. You can join for as little as, I think it's like $1.99 a month. And I'm thinking this is going to be my exclusive February wagon. And I think it's going to be exactly like this, except these cables are going to be a silver colour, which I think will give some contrast. And right now, assuming nothing goes wrong with inflation in crazy ways, I'm looking at about £12 for it, for you to buy. So that's not bad, is it? But yeah, I'm just so excited about it. Yeah, a lot of fun. It took about 3 hours to design the body, which is not at all much, is it? Not at all much. So yeah, it's just amazing what 3D printing can do. And I have people close to me know that I've spent a lot of time obsessing over that and admiring it and talking about it too much. So we are going to move on. Let's have another look at the chat, and then I will do some Wall of Fame stuff. Handrail bent. Yeah, well, I literally finished printing about 20 minutes before the stream, and I've stuck the those cables on with glue. So with a bit more time, you could definitely put them on better, but I won't be fitting those. They'll be in accessories bags, so you can sort those out. Oh, Kelly apparently had a dream about being married to Foxcoat Manor, and I know it can, and I know it can't come true. Okay, at least Kelly's being realistic. Sam, you awesome. Please reply to my chat. Rush Gaming. There you go. Thank you very much for calling me awesome. That's very kind. Sam, you need to make some TT stuff. Exactly. Yeah, that's a possibility. I certainly could. Right, let me show you some Wall of Fame. I think there's only like 2 or 3 today. Yeah, there's 3. So if you want to have a picture go up on the walls in my room, take one yourself, draw it, do whatever. You can email it to me at samstrains@outlook.com, or you can send it me on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, if we've still got Twitter, and I will show it during a stream and put it up on the wall. The first one comes from Luke, Luke F. Let's try and get this in shot. Look at that, beautiful A4. I always am loath to call these A4s Mallard until I've actually seen the number, but I think that one is Mallard, so I should be safe. Famous last words to see a blue A4 and say it's Mallard, because sometimes it isn't. Usually it is, but sometimes it isn't, and you can look very, very silly, and I know all about looking silly. Right, Dylan W, look at this. Percy looking a bit bemused, bless him, and it looks like some guy's got some suitcases or something. I don't know, are they going away for a romantic weekend together? I don't know, the whole theme of marrying locomotives seems to be cropping up a lot today. I think it's just one of those days. I don't think there's any way to link that to this though, from Keegan Art, so that should be fine. Yeah, what an awesome bit of artwork this is. Felt tip drawing of E2 Thomas. And like normally, you know, felt tip drawings can get a little messy, but look how accurate this is. It literally looks like a Hornby E2, doesn't it? Very, very cool. So well done, Keegan. Thank you very much. And as always, if you want to have a drawing put on the wall or a photo, anything at all, well, I mean, it can't be you. It just make it reasonable, and I'll put it up on the wall. And I'll have to do another video showing the whole wall at some point, because there's quite a lot more on there than there was before. So we'll do that. Right, let's run some more trains. So we have Victory, the Kerr Stewart Victory on the outside line, as requested by William Town. William wanted to see it run 2 LBSC coaches, a box fan, 2 ocean wagons, and a brake. Co-captain Blue Gaming wanted to see a Blue King class with Pullmans, so we'll see how she's getting on. And then Jake Darling, this is an interesting one. I think this might be in the running for Gresley's Rocket, because it's a cool freight request. An 08 Shunter, very famous freight locomotive, and 4 brake vans. So that just makes it that little bit more unusual, doesn't it? So, Victory, off she goes. Lovely run of this one. Up to 50, nice and steady. Is the Hornby King going to work? Sort of. Yeah, off we go. Victory stopped on the point, so that's not like her. And the 08. I've gone with the Triang one this time. No particular reason. It's just a bit more lively than the Bachmann one, I suppose. Although that's the only advantage it has that I can think of. Here we go. See how Victory's getting on. Oh, yeah, slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, Victory, fantastic. Really, really happy with that. It's a great, great runner. Some people did defend it after my review, saying, you know, oh, it's something about the coal. I knocked the lack of coal load, and people said, oh, you don't understand who this model's intended for. It's to give modelers more customizability. I don't understand that, folks. I don't get it. Because other manufacturers, in order to give their customers customizability, they've done a very clever thing, and that's called fitting a removable coal load. And that means that you can take the coal out if you don't like the level of the coal, for instance, and you can put your own in if you want. But it also means for those who are happy with the coal load that's fitted, don't have to do anything. The model is truly ready to run. And after all, you know, steam loco without coal, it ain't ready to run, is it? That's the one thing a loco can't live without. That and water and a driver and regular maintenance and a lot of other things like wheels and valves. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But yeah, otherwise, I think it's important to note that the Victory is not perfect. Yeah, the quality wasn't great. It is missing 1 or 2 details, like the removable coal load. But it was a reasonable price. It runs marvellously. It really does. And it looks cool too. So yeah, not perfect, and I don't think any manufacturer should expect to get perfect reviews on anything, but yeah, I think it's close enough to be recommended, and it's definitely a very welcome addition to the collection. And there it goes. Looks good as well with Williams' collection of rolling stock there. Yeah, very, very nice. Jonathan Barnes, thank you very much. I'd love to see someone make North Stafford's battery locomotive. Well, I'll have to look at that. I am looking for more 3D printed projects, obviously, because I always am. That sounds like it could be doable. So yeah, send me some pictures, please, somebody. Or if you've got drawings, even better. Oh yeah, obviously like proper drawings. Don't just draw one. I mean, you could. I'll put it up on the wall, but I probably won't be able to use it to make models. Alright, come on, Victory. See how, look, that's max speed. But that makes sense. You know, you turn this thing up to max in real life, which is an oversimplification, I know. It's not going to go at 90 miles an hour, is it? So that, I think, makes sense. Right, let's move on. I have lots of really cool requests from my members, from my engineers. So let's take a look at some of those. Up first, we have a request from Ridiculous Railways, who wanted to see my favourite LMS tender loco with 7 to 10 coaches. Now that's a good question. I think my favourite might have been the Precedent class, but I don't think that's going to handle 7 to 10 coaches. So my only other thought was the Coronation class, which of course can handle that many. So thank you so much, Ridiculous Railways, for your support. Jason Biggs came up with a very interesting one for the middle line. Wanted to see the Pennsylvania GG1 doing an HST style train. So I've put very few wagons on here because the GG1 is a DCC loco and I'm having to run it on analog, and I've got the camelback pushing it kind of fast at the other end there. But yeah, I think it's okay. It seems to be staying on the track, so I've managed to do it, an HO style HST. And then Colin White's a very, very nice idea. As always, Lady Patricia with a rake of Pullman coaches. Patricia looking lovely as always, great runner, gorgeous loco, and some Pullmans as well. Couldn't be better. So thank you very, very much, Colin. Appreciate that. And also thanks to Jason Biggs too. Next up, we have a request from NG5, who wanted to see a very interesting double header, the LNER W1 and the LMS 10,000. So two prototype locomotives in similar liveries. Definitely see what you're going for there. Hauling 8 coaches, 4 LNER and 4 LMS. Very, very cool idea, NG5. Thank you for your support and thank you for bringing that to the stream. That's just awesome. Then Bobble Bunny wanted to see Old Copperknob. Thank you so much, Bobble Bunny. I'm glad you wanted to see Copperknob. I do love that loco. With some children wagons, and you also said anything else that's compatible, but obviously that is a proprietary coupling system, so nothing else is actually compatible with those. But even so, hopefully that's okay. Thank you for choosing Copperknob. And then Mark7188 wanted to see the new 64XX pannier tank hauling a small goods train with a brake van at the end. And again, that is definitely something I can get down with. Hopefully you like that small goods train. I've even included a shunter's truck as well, just for a little bit of added interest. So to NG5, to Bobble Bunny, and also to Mark7188, thank you and bless you all for your support. The final one for now comes from Mega Train Lover. Always count on Mega Train Lover for the creative requests. They wanted to see the purple A4 running with quite a big train, 8 Mark 1s, a mixture of the maroon ones and the blood and custard ones. And that is no problem at all. Great to see the purple A4. And not only that, but seeing it being put through its paces in quite an extreme way there with a large train. So thank you very much to Mega Train Lover as well. More requests coming in just a moment, but for now, let's go back live. Hey folks, welcome back. I'm just in the process of setting up the next round of requests. Now we've got a request for a big freight train next. So I've taken off the Hornby 9F and instead I put it on the Hornby 9F, and this is for William Babcock. No, said that wrong. I didn't take off the Hornby 9F and replace it with the Hornby 9F because that would be a waste of time. I put the Hornby 8F on instead, and I'm just interested to see if she can haul all these wagons. Think so though, even up Gordon's Hill in theory. Just pulling them out the siding now. These wagons are certainly getting some mileage today. Alright, let's back up a little bit, bring her back in shot, let you have another look at the Hornby 8F in all its 8F-y glory. The inside line has already been set up. That one's, who was that now? Was that William? Yeah, it was William. Sorry, yeah, William Babcock. That was William's request. The 8F request was NWR, Jasper and Willow. So there you go. And I've also got a diesel doubleheader going on here. I don't think it's going to end well. And I think that's the other way I need to go. Yep. So yeah, this one was Eggy Eats, who wanted a 47 and a 50. Can't find my 50, unfortunately, so I put the 56 on. I hope that's all right. And you want a mix of open wagons, box vans, and other freight. So I'm thinking I'm going to put some of these steel wagons on because I quite like these, and I don't run them very often. These these steel wagons, what I used to do was, there are websites that you can, like, they pay you basically small amounts of money to fill out a survey. I can't remember what the website was called, and I don't really recommend it because, you know, if you go out and, you know, get a job, you can make a lot more money for your time because this used to take hours. But yeah, back when I was like 13, I used to do surveys. I probably wasn't old enough to do them, but they'll give you like 50p for each survey, and instead of actually giving you money though, they will give you vouchers, Amazon vouchers. And I used to just do surveys until I had enough Amazon vouchers to buy a model. And I would, every time I can't remember how much these models were, probably about a tenner. So every time I had a tenner's worth of survey vouchers, I would just go on Amazon and order one of these steel wagons. I don't know why. Maybe these were just the right price or something. I also sometimes bought DCC decoders. Or was that later on? I don't remember. But yeah, so these literally cost me hours and hours of survey filling out. And I always did the thing properly. You know, I tried to be a fundamentally honest person, so I wasn't the type of person who just flicked through the survey, clicking yes to everything and just choosing random answers. I would, I would try and do them properly, and sometimes I would get sent like a bottle of alcohol to try and have to like fill out the survey about that. I give my parents the alcohol and they tried it, and then I filled the survey out because I'm not a drinker. So yeah, that's the one time I didn't personally fill out the survey, but other than that, fond memories. And I think recently I was able to find a load more of these steel wagons. I don't think I got many of them through the surveys, maybe 4 or 5. And then recently there was some in a sale or something, and I managed to get some more of them, fill up my survey rake. But a good number of them, at least 3 or 4, came from surveys, and I've got a few more in the cupboard as well. So there you go, that's a very uninteresting story for you, isn't it? Thomas Binstead, any plans to expand your O-gauge locomotive stable? Well, first of all, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate that. Second of all, yes, if the right loco comes along, and I'm hoping it will, I will get it and review it. Larger locos aren't going to work for me because I work on reasonably tight profit margins here at Sam's Trains, and I also don't have a massive layout with lots of room on it. So big locos are not going to be that practical, but the smaller ones definitely. And I do have a few pre-orders in actually, so yeah, there will be some more reviews and O-gauge locos coming. What is the weight on those steel wagons? Seem kind of light. Yeah, they are light. Yeah, they're all plastic. I think there might be a little weight inside them. I would guess like 20-25 grams, something like that. Great Portland Street Model Railway, of course you can have a shout out, no problem. The Flying Scotsman, hi Sam's Trains, such a huge fan. Oh, well, bless you, thank you very, very much. Coco, says David Mattox. Oh, I guess that's his favourite character, I see. Alright. Let's see, I'm back. How do I request? Says Lilbro28. You can super chat, £5 or the equivalent, and I will run your request. It'll probably be next week now, but I'll still do it. Anyway, let's go through and thank all of the requestees, and I also need to pick who is getting Gresley's rocket, because it's crunch time, folks. I've got to decide, so keep an eye on the trains for me. Please let me know in the chat if something goes wrong, because I'm not looking at the track. And let's go from the top. So, huge thank you to all these people for their support. William Town, Co-Captain Blues Gaming, George Botterini, bless you all. Average British Railways Appreciator, still appreciate that name. You might appreciate Average British Railways, or you might be an average appreciator of British Railways, but I appreciate you, Average British Railways Appreciator. I'm getting slightly confused now by what's coming out of my mouth, but I assure you, it's all positive. Kelly Ashford Trains, thank you to you. William Babcock, Eggy Yeat, NG5, Jake Darling, NG5, William Town, Terence Priestley, Jim Flagg, NWR J&W Studios, William Town, David Mattox. Oh, sorry about that. I think Bullman just frightened a cough out of me there. David F, XRCon42, Mark7188, Jonathan Barnes, NG5, Kelly Ashford Trains, James White and Thomas Binstead. Thank you to all of you for your requests. If you've submitted one and haven't seen it in today's stream, it will be done next week on the next stream. They are first come, first serve, but I don't forget and I don't miss people out. So, yep, keep them coming. If you want to submit one before next stream, that's a surefire way to make sure your request is featured on said stream. But if you don't make it in time, no problem at all. I will get to you next time. Alright, so the best request for me has got to be Jake Darling and his 08 and the brake van train, because as you know, I am a lover of the unusual, and so I think because that one was just a little bit outside the box, that's the one. So Jake, send me an email with your postage address and I will send off Gresley's rocket to you. I'm not sure if that's a prize or a booby prize, I'm not sure, but do with it what you will, and hope it brings you some fun. Next up on the channel, I've got a beautiful Bachmann LMS tender loco, which I'm going to review, so look out for that. That's coming out tomorrow. On Monday, I'm bringing a very special guest to the channel in a really fun video that I and this special guest had a lot of fun making. So I hope you enjoy meeting them and I hope you enjoy the video. And then on Wednesday, I've got a Hornby Steam loco that I have never covered before, which is very exciting, and I won't give you any more clues at this time. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who has super chatted and supported the channel. As always, I couldn't do this without you, and your support means that this channel can live and continue to produce new content, and for that I really am thankful. I really am. So have a great week. I will see you next Friday, if not before, with the other videos, and have fun. Do some railroading. Are we in America? Well, some of you are. And I'll see you soon with some more Sam's Trains Live. Take care, folks. Catch you on the next one. Hey folks, thank you all very much for tuning in for another episode of Sam's Trains Live. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back with another episode very soon, but in the meantime, please enjoy the videos that I'll be posting on my channel till then, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks again for your support, folks, and take care of yourselves.